Okay, so I made a mistake. It's supposed to be box, not Bach. And already, Mike Anthony, Bach. Jesus,
Bach.
give me a break, people. Hey, Artie, I saw a game. I saw a game just behind you. Big box. 3rd level down your shelf. You got to turn around, Ski. Yeah, there. What is that?
This?
Yeah.
That's SPI's War in Europe. Actually, you know, since we're talking about box art, it's a great sort of not incredibly or elaborate, but very striking box design, I think, as is, you know, a lot of the stuff that we saw from Redmond Simonson back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. And who did that?
Redmond Simonson.
Ah. Well, hello, people. Hello, Artie, and
hello humans.
Robert Moffat, man. and Jeff Beeler.
Everybody's here.
And oh God, it's that guy. It's Fucko.
Oh God, it's Fucko.
So today's topic, which we seriously like broke our heads over, is box cover art. Box cover art. So we're gonna be smacking some examples. But you know what, Artie? You said you had a favorite, like your favorite.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Well, I don't know how you can have a favorite.
Like I said, I think this particular cover is just that good. Hold on.
Oh, how does that work if I'm in control here?
You just got to add that window.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Easy.
You want to talk about this before I put it up?
No, go ahead and put it up, and then we can talk about it.
Bam!
This is Roger Mcgowan's cover for Iron Bottom Sound 3. I think it's a really great cover. I think it's one of Roger's best. Roger certainly has plenty of great covers, but this is my personal favorite, just because I think of the intensity of the colors. I think it's a really striking box cover.
Well, I mean, blue and red, yeah, I understand.
Well, yeah.
But that's not even the real Yamamoto. That's the movie Yamamoto.
I don't think that's even Yamamoto. Yamamoto was dead by then, wasn't he? No, that might not be true, actually.
No, that's the movie Yamamoto, man.
Well, maybe. I don't know. But Iron Bottom Sound refers to the naval battle of Guadalcanal, right? And when did that happen versus when Yamamoto got his plane shot down?
I don't know. But I know it was a P-17 that shot him down, wasn't it?
I think so.
And like, hold on a second.
Yeah, he was still alive at that time. That's not Yamamoto, though.
That's Yamamoto, man.
No, I don't think that's Yamamoto.
No, I'm telling you, that's from Tara. That's Yama-bloody-moto.
I think that wasn't the guy that was in charge. Well, he was in charge, but he wasn't like the guy with the on the carriers either.
Artie, I'm telling you,
there was another guy.
Yamamoto.
That's Nagumo. Yamamoto didn't have a mustache.
That's funny, man.
I'm just saying. Now we're arguing about that. Who is that on the Iron Bottom Sound cover?
Well, you know what? I found one that actually won a CSR award. And I don't know if it won for box cover art, but I'm going to share it. So I'm removing yours, Artie.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you did it, didn't you?
I did it. Yeah, I got that power. I could kill my own shared screen.
All right. It's funny, eh? Where is it? Oh, yeah. Bam.
That's a nice cover, too.
Actually, it is.
I like that cover. I don't know. It did actually win the Charles S. Roberts Awards for cover, and that's, debatable when it's just kind of a straight picture from, whatever public domain source there's pictures of in that period. But we've already talked about that. We're not going to talk about the Charles S. Roberts Awards again. It is a very nice cover. And in fact, it's kind of reminiscent of another New England Simulations cover.
Hey, that's nice, man.
Yeah, they do. Their stuff is graphically really, really nice.
Now, okay, here. Oh my God, I'm starting something. And yes, it was a P-38, not a P-17. And Yamamoto died in 43.
What the hell's a P-17?
I don't know, but you said yes to P-17.
I was busy looking that up at the time. So,
and what was it? So is this art or is this just graphic putting together?
Okay, so maybe a clearer example. Is this art or is it just graphic design? I mean, that's a legitimate question, right? This is just like it's literally stripes and stars and that's it, right? Is that art? I mean, I would say sure, in a, kind of a broad context, but I'm not an artist. So maybe I'm not the person to ask that particular question. Maybe you should ask an artist that.
Well, I mean, I'm an artist, but not that kind of an artist.
Well, right. So, but graphic artists. But I'd say graphic design is art. Maybe it's a very specialized kind of art, but so I'd say sure, but so surely we have other examples of great box covers. Another one that I really like is the Guns of August, which is getting retooled.
Show it.
I gotta type it up here.
And this is a between Christmas and New Year's Eve type of show where it's laid back and stuff, and
because we're usually so structured.
There I go, Artie. Bam!
Not sure what's up with that. There we go. But I think this is a really nice cover as well.
Yes, it is.
So
what's that gun they're showing?
That's probably one of the guns that they shelled Paris with from 50 whatever it was miles away.
And so did they hit Paris?
Yeah, I don't think that's one of those guns actually, but because those would be bigger than that, I suspect. But yeah, they were able to, that was very shocking at the time. They were able to shell Paris, even though the front lines were like 50 or whatever it was, 80 miles away, something like that. But that requires really big artillery.
Artie, Fuckle's got a question for you.
So the redo of Guns of August is the one from Compass Games, Empires and Alliances. That's the redo of Guns of August. My understanding is it plays a little smoother too, or at least more smoothly. Let me put it that way. So I don't know if smoothly. It's supposed to be less of a slog. Let me put it that way.
Jeff.
Now there is another game from Worthington called Guns of August that is a completely different game.
I don't have it.
So neither do I. I think it's from Worthington. I might be wrong about that.
Look at that. Jeff Beeler's got that. He's opining.
So yeah, I mean, so there's examples of. Oh, hold on. Let's. Might as well keep this. Everybody around here has probably seen this cover before. I remember actually seeing this. Shockingly, I remember seeing this on a store shelf back in the day. This is like art that somebody did for this game about Operation Husky. It is considered by many to be the worst war game cover of all time.
It looks pretty bad, man.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, it's it's just not. It doesn't look like a war game, right? On the other hand, we have another piece of. As another counterexample, my typing skills are garbage tonight. Here is pretty much a picture from NASA with a spaceship drawn over it, and title stuff placed around the edge of the image. And again, I think this is a really great and striking piece of cover art. So one normally sees, like drawn. I'm not an artist, so there's probably a term for this. Like, other art repurposed in war games covers happens a lot, or other photography or whatever it is. But in this case, it's an actual piece of art that somebody drew, overlaid on top of another image. And one typically sees more of that with sci-fi titles.
Yeah, and maybe did they pay their copyright thingies?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody in the office drew this spaceship for SPI. I'm guessing. Might have been Simonson. I don't know. And he's the guy that has the graphic design credit on the game. And he actually helped develop the background as well.
And Artie, does the box cover art help in buying the game?
I don't think it does. I don't think a spiffy box really causes anybody to buy a game. However, yeah. I suspect that a really genuinely hideous box might stop some people from buying the game. I would never buy a game just because I liked the cover of any kind, whether it was a war game or an RPG or whatever. I would never do that. Not yeah. Now. Now, when I was, back in the day, a lot of times you'd go to the store and that's what you had to go on, right?
That's right.
You didn't necessarily know what the game was or how good it was or whatever. You saw the cover, you turned it around and read the back of the box, and that's all you knew. Nowadays, that's not the case. You can go on the internet and do tons of research about games, in some cases downloading the rules and checking the rules out and everything and talking to other people who have played the game already, see what they have to say about it. So nobody's in the position where they have to make that determination nowadays.
I mean, look at that box cover art, man.
That's a good, it's a striking cover. Let me put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
It is kind of, a very stereotypically Vietnam cover, right? There's no daring in this cover. It is you're never, unless you've not seen Apocalypse Now. You are not getting. You could they could have a blank box and just have this image on there, and you would know what the game was about.
And you can hear the tune in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And by the way, who was that tune written by?
Which tune are we talking about? Are we talking about the Wagner, or are we talking about the Doors?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Because the song I associate with the movie is that opening sequence where they're playing The End by the Doors.
By the Doors. Yeah, no, I know. I was on acid when I saw that movie.
Oh, man. Jesus. The Doors on acid's got to be something else, huh?
No, but I mean, the Doors on acid in Apocalypse Now cutting the cow.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I never forgot it. I mean, acid was fun when you were 12.
I suppose. I'm pulling up, per request, I'm pulling up the Coruscant Pocket. Okay, this is a Roger Mcgowan cover as well, this Coruscant Pocket cover. And this is a really good cover. This is People's War Games. I forget the date, but it's People's War Games, which is Jack Grady and company. And this is a really good cover.
I think it's a great cover. And you know what? I mean, when those games came out, like for $15, all you had to go on is the box art cover. And I don't know, were they better back then than they are now?
The games themselves?
No.
The box art?
Yeah.
Well, I think you could have that argument. I think, however, the reason for that is because there were two individuals who really dominated wargame graphic design for 15 or 20, somewhere between 10 and 20 years. And those are Redmond, Simonson, and Roger Mcgowan. And there's also a lot of other cover artists or designers or whatever that imitated those styles to greater or lesser success. I happen to like these old-fashioned covers myself. I don't think anybody would even do a cover like this anymore, including Roger. I certainly haven't seen a cover like this in a long time.
There's this new artist. I know. Oh my God, what's the Rohrbaugh?
Paul Rohrbaugh?
His company, High Flying Dice.
Okay.
I really like some of their covers, man, and I don't know if it's Escaby and
So Nicholas Escobie has done some really good covers. The stuff I would think of from him offhand is the stuff from Multi-Man. So that's a Nicholas Escobie cover.
That's
from
really
Third
nice,
Winter. And that's
man.
a good cover too. I really
Very
like this cover.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't. Well, let me see. Let me pull up some high flying dice stuff.
Yeah, because I don't have any high flying dice games.
Yeah, I got some.
I probably should, but I don't. My Avalon Hill flat top is not within reach, so I can't pull that out. But that is a good cover too, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is I'd be shocked if this wasn't a Roger McGowan cover as well.
That's a Roger McGowan cover, and that's again from the same movie. Those from Tora.
So this is from Tora, yeah.
Yeah, and so was the other.
It's certainly intended to be reminiscent. I don't know if it's a shot from the movie necessarily, but it's certainly intended to evoke Tora, which is a great movie anyway, so I don't mind.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's part of the same image.
Part?
Yeah, that's part of the same image
that is the
was
same
on Corset Pocket. Yeah, I think it is the whole thing.
It's actually exactly the same.
Well, it's still Roger, though. That's why.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as powerful here as it does in case of Corset Pocket.
No, there's missing reds, man.
Let me pull that up because, oh, come on, BGG. So on the one hand, it's not the reds, it's the white. That the other one's missing.
Very good.
Where this has very limited white.
Yeah, it's very German gray. What happened?
So yeah, this one looks much punch. I mean, to me, again, I'm not an artist, so we should have had an artist on. Why didn't we have an artist on? We could have got we could have got Nico on, maybe. That would have been a great idea.
Ooh.
So yeah, he's on social media. He's around. Yeah, it's 100% the same one, but it 100% doesn't look as powerful because of the lack of white.
Yeah, I got some Kudryashov stuff happening here.
Yeah, Ilya Kudryashov has done a bunch of stuff.
You got a hay fever or something, man, or what?
Oh, it's just allergies.
That's what I said. Hay fever.
Whatever.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about, and I really got off on it a lot. Very, very minimalistic, and love the color. Love the color.
Yeah, that's a nice minimalist cover. I don't know if Ilya did the cover or not. It's possible. I mean, if with a title that says graphics, I would make that assumption. That might not be correct, but that's the assumption I would make.
Do you know Ilya?
No.
Ilya's a lady, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't think so.
I might have some information that I don't want to share.
Oh, well, it's none of maybe it's none of my business too. That's fine. I am happy to say, hey, not my business. It's all good.
Splat.
Yeah. So Ilya did the Wars of Marcus Aurelius from HOLLANDSPIELE, which isn't behind me anymore. It was until just a little while ago. This is constantly being reshuffled. So
yeah, no, I'm wrong. Ilya's a guy. He's got a mustache.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, we both have Italian relatives. I'm just saying.
You should have seen my mother-in-law, that heifer.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of art credits, Ilya Kudryashov, too. A lot of art credits.
Yeah. He did a lot of maps too, man.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
And wasn't there, going back to Nicholas Escabie, wasn't there a big to-do about some copyright something with Hexes and Soldiers and Nicholas Escabie a few years ago?
If so, I don't remember it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I said, I feel like I have a nose for drama, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, no. For some reason, drama comes to me, man. I really want to push it away, but it just comes to me, man.
It's the world we live in. It's got nothing to do with either of us at this point.
Sounds like a song, man. Yeah, Ilya's got a beard too. Yeah, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking she draws for HOLLANDSPIELE.
Yeah, she does, and I forget the name. Impossible for me to just pull that out.
Can someone help us here? HOLLANDSPIELE, female artist. Anya Kournikova. Who's Anya?
Anya
Ziolkowska. Yeah.
I am probably not pronouncing that correctly. Anya Ziolkowska. That's how I'd pronounce that anyway. But that might be nonsense.
Yeah, she does some good stuff too, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of credits with HOLLANDSPIELE specifically, but also Admiral's War from One Small Step. And some other stuff as well. Battle of the Atlantic. I don't even know what this is, but apparently it's from One Small Step folio series. Look at that. Uwe's here. How's it going, Uwe?
Hey guys, I'm doing really good. Thank you very much.
Guten Abend.
Vielen Dank und gleichfalls.
Yeah, whatever. So Uwe,
I don't have the COVID, I swear.
We're talking about box cover art. By the way, what you're wearing there, is there some sort of raid going on?
Oh no, it's pretty cold and wet up here, so I'm just dressed for going outside with the dogs and everything else we do around here.
So is that what you call them, eh? You call your guys the dogs, eh? I like that. I like that.
Stop it.
It is wet, but it's not that cold.
Okay, so Uwe, we're talking about box cover art, and you know what? You're actually the perfect person to come in here because, as you've told me, you're a big fan of a certain painter that graces your Games by Academy.
Yep, Stephen Pashal, phenomenal artist. Yes, sir.
And actually, we could see one of his artworks on the right side of you. Yeah.
This is a Guadalcanal painting. This one up here is an upcoming painting we're doing on a really cool racing game, chariot racing game.
A charioteer?
Yeah, chariot racing game. We have our France 1940, which is getting ready for the printer. This is going to be the cover for that one.
Man, you know what I'm talking about.
So he does beautiful work, and what is interesting with Stephen is he only does historical or any type of confrontation paintings from the past because he's Baha'ist, and he does not believe in doing any type of future type of wars or anything like that because they don't believe in that. They're very, anti-war and everything, but he will do historical just so that we can do games and people learn of the horrors of the past. So we're very lucky to be able to work with him. So Stephen Pashal, if anybody wants to check him out, really nice guy, lives out in the Hawaiian Islands. And
the poor guy.
That's a segue into drugs and hookers.
Apparently he did the covers on a couple of the GTS games too, which I didn't know.
He did in the past. He did for quite a few people. He did some for L2 games, for Art Lupinacci, name from the past, great guy, Canadian.
No, is he Canadian?
He lives in Canada. He's out of Canada, I'm pretty sure.
What a name. It rolls off your tongue. Lupinacci.
Yep.
Lupinacci.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. And Uwe, do you think box cover art, actually, obviously it's important, but do you think it sways the buyer?
Oh yeah,
into
100%.
spending that extra $200?
100%, 100%. I think art cover work is very critical. We've done art cover work where we are very happy with, and then we've done some artwork where we felt it could have been done maybe a little better. But you know, we're open to all different type of art styles. I mean, like our Mare Nostrum game here,
yeah,
that Jarek did. He did, you know, phenomenal from his standpoint. It's very different looking than some of the other things that we did. And this was an incredible seller for us. It was like our first, you know, $1 million Kickstarter. And so that then compared to where we're going with some of our other art, which with Jarek, our art director, does.
Yeah, but that's pretty wicked.
Not painted. He paints us on digitally painted, you know. But so
that's impressive.
Yeah, for us, you know, art, and then of course Stephen with his, you know, he's just so good at faces and things like that. So he box art for us, I think, is very critical because we're emotionally swayed through visuals, you know.
I think so.
So I think it's very key.
So Artie was saying, I don't think so. You know, he's
well, you know that I'm just talking for myself though.
You know what I'm saying, Artie?
And I could be delusional too. That's always possible.
You know,
well, I think subconsciously we are swayed by what we think looks good, and subconsciously I think it will. If we do not have a friend saying this is an incredible game or whatever, and you see two games, one is professionally made, looks good, and the other one looks cheap, cheesy, and then the components look cheap and cheesy, I think we will give the better produced item, we will give a subconscious a few steps higher with if you can only see it, if you only have a visual.
That's
from like 1981.
Cheap and cheesy.
Well, yeah, but it was also like $2 when it came out too. So,
but
so
you know, sometimes Uwe, you know, cheap and cheesy has its thingy. And you know what? This is what I was thinking of. If I can find it.
Yeah, but if the game costs $100, it's hard to sell cheap and cheesy.
Yeah, that's not our customer base. Our customer base, we put years of work into it, and you know, it's cheap and cheesy makes a lot more money though.
Well, it depends. It depends.
Maybe. I mean, there are certainly companies like Cheap Ass Games that was around. I don't even know if they're still around.
Dr. Lucky and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. They literally Ziploc bag games with, you know, cardboard, just paper components and.
Yeah, sorry, I've never played any of these games. Sorry.
No, but I know, and they're not.
I've never even seen that.
Come on, man! Swamp Devils from Blood Bayou.
It does sound very B movie if you're into B movie. That's got to be something that Herman Lettman had a finger in.
No, that's what I'm trying to find.
Or would like anyway.
Duce likes them because the sentences are short.
Well, yeah, the rules are all written with one syllable words, so that's very helpful.
I can't find it.
So, Uwe, would you say that you, and by you, I'm going to say, you know, Academy Games in this case, has like a house art style that the consumer can like identify without necessarily seeing the logo on the box?
Well, I think with our war games, that's been the case with because Stephen Pashal has done, you know, almost all of our war games. But with the other games, no, not really. You know, you go with the style that you think will go with that type of game, looks good for that game. Like our One Small Step looks totally different than any of our other games, and it was a very successful game for us. So it went very, very well. Hey, ich bin gerade ein Interview. Kann ich dich wieder zurückrufen?
Ich bin gerade Interview.
Oh, the Germans are calling.
Ich bin
What is going on here?
That was my mama.
Uwe.
You don't fool around when mama calls.
No. Uwe, by the way, I'm sorry.
With what?
He's just sorry. You wrote me an email, and I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. You know what? My dad died.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
2.5 weeks ago. Was
Oh, sorry about that.
You know what? He died at home. We just did hospice with him, and he died on a good day, and he died well. So that was it for us. He didn't, he had cancer and all that, and he stayed at home, and he didn't want to eat anymore, and he just, starved over time. What I found out, if anybody has old parents, look at hospice, because the way he died, exactly like the book said, and he was happy throughout the whole thing. Never knew how the body works. That older people, if they don't eat for 24 hours, like the hunger receptors are turned off, and they have endorphins popping through their brains, making them feel good. So he went very well, reading, doing his stocks and everything till 3 days before he died. Then we had a big family gathering, and then his last day, he couldn't get up anymore, but we helped him up. He went to the bathroom. He said, "I never want to shit my pants," and he was no burden on anybody. And he, to the very last day he was out, and then he died in the night. Boom. And my mom woke up, and he was dead, and then we had him cremated, went out into the woods, had a big
so you did that. Okay,
drinking schnapps and everything around a fire. And next morning, when the fire was cool, we dug a hole in the middle of it, put his ashes in it, put the earth back over, and had another bonfire like we did in the old days, old German tradition in our area at least. And that way, every time we go to our woods and have fires, we know he's there.
And
so,
can I ask you if you pulled out the good schnapps?
Oh, only because you take a drink and the other half you pour on the grave, on the site where the ashes are. So that's and it was schnapps. So
that's good.
And it was pear schnapps. He loved pear schnapps.
I'm sorry I had to bring it up. It hit me. But
no. He was damn 84, and he died on a good day, man. What's wrong with that? It was tougher on my mom,
Look, I mean, you got good genes, because you're a good-looking guy there, and I'm not making a pass at you there, Uwe, but I'm just saying, did the genes pass down from your dad?
Well, you've never seen my real face. I'm using this great product overlay. So, I'm really, my name is Gustavo, and I'm just people make fun of my
just
smaller nose, so I had my nose made on this program to be a little bigger.
You got land in Argentina.
I like how my ears just stuck away, so I just have them. I made these really nice ears. I wanted the Mad Max look.
Not that I want to change subject, but something came out from Worthington Publishing. Okay, Uwe, what do you think?
What about it? Bismarck Solitaire.
He's asking everybody about this thing.
Yeah, look,
I haven't played it yet.
No, but do you know of it? He calls it a book game.
No, I don't know anything about it.
It's
cool.
And you know what? Cool. Because and I'm sure you're having trouble with getting your boxes from China or wherever you get your boxes from.
No,
just
not
work
really.
with me. Work with me, will you?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, we're having a lot of trouble. I mean, we have delays, but no troubles.
Delays. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So maybe this was Grant's way of like saying, "Hey, we got a game. Let's put it out. Bang, bang, bang." And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a new one. There's a Waterloo one out now too.
Yeah, there's a Waterloo one out now, Uwe.
So
now I want to go buy it and play it.
You see, now you being a man of the world, German world, there's so much that could be done here.
With what? Well, they're doing it
with something like this.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing a great job. I mean, we're working on our new AI and everything. I'm going back to grad school in January, engineering graduate school, to take advanced programming and everything, just for our AI development, just because the AI and AI progression, decision making, structuring those software programs really don't exist. So I'm having to go back to work with different manufacturers and professors who specialize in this, trying to figure out a way to be able to do the logic oriented type of programming for logic and psychological decision making in different type of campaign situations. So, for example, in the Ukraine now, the issues we're having in Ukraine with Putin and everything, and what Putin's doing now is a talk I gave at Fort McNair 4 years ago, almost to the T, and now he's doing it. So it's very interesting because we have the situation right now, and we have some of the best intelligence in the world, in America, feeding all this intelligence, but the people who are in the decision-making position get hit by so much information, and this information, the way it is given, can often be skewed and taken in a perception that can be different than how someone else would take in this information. So what we've been working on several years now, not only with our behavioral Athena AI, but also with all this different information coming in from all these different areas. And you have to think of this as a three-dimensional sphere and how it all interconnects, and what are the probabilities of Putin or an American commander or our European allies making decisions on this type of input. What would their reaction be? How would they react to this? What is the probability of their behavioral type of probability curve of doing this, 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 this? And being able to program this in the program, have everything interacted so that we can then go to a command person in command, say, sir, Putin has now brought 100,000 people onto the Ukrainian border. If we do this, the probability of these thousands of factors that they've programmed in, here's the highest probability outcome if we do this. And it shows in green probabilities and the exact path and all the nodal points where the main points of variations were. And then if we do this, this would happen. And what we want to make sure is saying, if we do this and this is the outcome, where can we, anywhere on these hundreds or thousands different paths, make a prompt here to change that outcome?
Halt.
I'm sorry.
How the hell do you know all this stuff? How the hell do you know all this stuff?
What do you mean? What's there to know? I mean, it's just you think of it, what you need to do, and you do it. I mean, that's. I'm an engineer. That's what
roll dice, pieces go boom.
No, but I mean, what about spontaneity? What about like just curveballs? He can.
That's where leadership can make what we call heuristically biased, stupid decision. Or not, I wouldn't say stupid. That would make makes military sense, but what is the geopolitical ramifications of this? So it may make sense from a military training standpoint to do this, but the military or the political social ramifications could be this, and this could be really bad for us. So if there is a system where we can go in and we can say, yeah, you want to do this. Okay, from all this information that all our intelligence people have put in, from all these different areas that interlink in all different ways, we push here. This is what you want to do. Here, from our analysis, is the outcome that we think is the highest probability outcome in this area, be it political, be it social ramifications, military ramifications, etc. And Putin is not like a Brezhnev or any of the old type of political leaders like the Berlin crisis with their 5% decision, where they thought, if we're going to take over and attack and take over Berlin, there's a 5% chance that America will start a war, which could start into World War III. And from our reactions and how we played that as Americans, he pulled back. And we did not have a Berlin crisis get any worse, and the missile crisis and everything. So I think it's very important with the sophistication we have with computers today to be able to have this type of software program. And that's why I have to go back to grad school and start really getting into this, because
you're actually going back to school, Uwe.
Yeah, engineering grad school to do programming and everything. Yeah, and in a very specialized fields. And I'm not going to say what type yet, because it's something that I want to profit from in the future.
You're freaking me out.
No, why?
No, you're freaking me out. What are you, superhuman?
No, I'm at the top of my game, man. I mean, you know, I'm in my 50s, late 50s. And
yeah, so am I. But I like to sit in my cabin I built in my garage and smoke a pipe and watch shows like this.
See, it takes
Bullshit, man.
That's why you're not motivated.
No, he made some of the best musical compositions out there. Don't give me that bullshit. You always play that laid back Italian, I sit in the woods and do nothing. You are one of the most creative, boom, boom in your brain in a totally different direction. You're like a freaking Muppet. To make a Muppet work great takes a lot of skill and thing. You're just a really well-made Muppet.
Thanks, Uwe.
I think I don't.
Now your head's got to explode.
I have no idea what he just said.
I don't know what to say, but thank you. But okay, let me ask you something else, okay? Because you're freaking me out. You were saying, and I quote, "We have the best intelligence. We got this, and we're this, and we're this, and we're this." What do you know what those guys have?
Meaning what?
Meaning the other people.
The other people meaning the Russians?
And the Chinese, yeah.
Oh, I think the Chinese and the Russians and everything have incredible intelligence, and they have the advantage where they, in their military command, in their political command and everything of leadership, are not handshackled the way we are in America, with a very open system, with open information flows, news flows, and everything else. So everything we do gives us tenfold repercussions versus what a country like China or Russia can do. So we are at a great disadvantage. Where we are at the advantage, though, is with our system that we can have guys like myself go in, say, or leadership or command or politicians say, this is bullshit, and they can go against the people in power and make a significant difference going into a good direction.
No disrespect, Uwe, but who the hell are you that they want to listen to?
No, nobody wants to listen to me.
I'm just saying, who the hell is anybody that they want to listen to? Don't they have their own experts?
It just depends what you do and what you come up with in life. I mean, I've been very lucky. Gunther's been very good at what he does. And in our little spheres of our little worlds, we've always had a great life, great success. And that's why America's the best country in the world in our sense of being. Now, someone who lives in Saudi Arabia or whatever, they have their feelings of what is the right, best way to do things. And they're living in the best country in the world. So it's all perception.
Remember that plane that crashed over the seas, a plane A-35 or something? I don't know.
In Philippines?
Yeah,
Philippines.
And Thailand had radar that they didn't want to disclose, so they couldn't help. They couldn't help the whoever the plane belonged to, the country, this and this and that. And they came out later, like 2 weeks later, and they said, well, we didn't want to disclose our radar system because our enemies would know. So we didn't know about that. You see?
You sure?
Am I making any sense?
Well, say the U.S. military, we'll say the Pentagon, just as a sort of placeholder, does know a lot of things that they don't admit that they know, right?
Yeah. So, why would I tell? And I think that's where it's where I think, again, being in a country where we that is much more repressed, such as Russia in many ways, they can, what they put out in the forefront and what's really happening. And same with our military. I mean, what we do and say in politics and everything, what we get fed is one thing compared to what really happens. That's life. That's been going on for thousands of years.
Yeah. And it's funny because this unidentified flying, I don't know what else they call it, object, person, thingy, balloon, that just happened lately. I just got a blank.
You're talking about the aliens again, aren't you? Now
they're real.
Now he's going to talk about the aliens.
Well, who do they belong to? Who do they belong to? Is it a U.S. aircraft type thing? And
no. I think it's coming from Alpha Centauri.
That didn't work as well as I'd hoped.
or they're coming from the dark side of the moon.
I was going to say the dark side of the moon. It was Himmler who went to the dark side of the moon. I saw that movie, man.
There's a movie about that. Yeah.
It's great. It was made in Finland somewhere. It is hilarious.
I love it.
I forgot what it was called, but it's really well done.
Iron
But
Sky.
what I'm saying is, why would guys like us, what you're finding out, we have so many young kids, so many geniuses doing stuff. And these are people who don't want to work for a big corporation like Gunther. The only offers he got was he has 3 patents going through. You know, he specialized in DNA manipulation and biomedical engineering, and he has 3 patents going through for early leukemia detection and all that. And with protein markers and all this RNA from the, vaccination, that's like 30-year-old technology that he even went to grad school and did his master's in. So guys like that don't want to sit working for the military in some basement, because he got offers left and right to work for some stupid ass major for 5 years or 2 years on a project, being told what he can do, when he said, hell, I can do a war game, go on Kickstarter and make $1 million. Why do I want to work for some guy on one project for 2 years? So I think what our government is learning more and more is they're going to the outside, these really smart young kids out there, and they're taking what they have in their engines and what they're creating, and they're taking what they do, and then they put their top secret blanket over it. And I think that's the correct way to go, because these young kids don't want to be hampered in this little box that they would have to be if they were working for a big corporation or a RAND corporation or whatever. And then they can, on their own, develop the stuff. And I think we're learning more and more that they're coming out and they're putting out here, this is what we're looking for. They're putting out these open bids that any people like us, and we're looking at 1 or 2 of them at this time, can look at, give our quotes on what we're doing, and then they can use from what we're developing, and we make some money on it, but then we can also work with them and get their expertise to make these programs better and better. So I think that's the way we're going. That's the benefit of America.
How come I'm not that smart? How come?
It's the weed.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Uwe, I'm supposed to work for a hash place, eh?
Oh, that's great, man. See, you're smart. You're going for where the money is.
Well, they're not calling me, for God's sake.
Is this like a corned beef hash? I don't understand.
Actually, you know what? It's incredible. They have the biggest pot growing plant in the world, believe it or not. And they're starting to experiment with aged bourbon barrel hash.
What's this got to do with corned beef?
Yeah. No, but Uwe, how old is Gunther?
He is 33 now.
So,
a wee sprout.
And I'm gonna ask, like, seriously, why is he so smart? Like, what the hell happened?
Well, he started doing games early. When he was like 2, we'd give him remote control cars, and he was taking them apart, and I always gave him electronic stuff to play with, or I'd throw him. My wife would always get mad. I'd put a little, pen out in the yard, and I'd throw a bunch of plywood and wood and everything just so he couldn't stand straight. And I gave him a hammer, and he'd be out there for hours just having fun. People going, God, what are you doing? You're crazy. You can't stand right now. He says he'll get great balance, which will make him good at sports. He's using a hammer. If he hits himself now, he'll learn. And, it's just he got lucky that he went into a field that he really liked in engineering and biomedicine, and it's what it's all about.
But it's funny because I used to know a guy. His name was Dirk Mittler. So he's a German, right? And when he was 4 years old, he took apart a 2-stroke engine and explained it to his uncle how to put it back together again. So, man, is it the Pervitin?
I think most kids can do it. And
right,
now
he was 4 years old, for God's sake.
Well, now they're working on tablets and everything from my son's 2-year-old's on there just doing all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what the heck, And and then they make sure they keep him inside and have him building his Legos and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's what I was doing. I was sticking screwdrivers in the toasters and licking it. That's what I was doing.
You know what? You're experimenting with electricity and learning stuff. Good for you. How often did you stick it in after you got buzzed? Probably only once, I hope.
That's to be honest, that's how I learned not to play with the electricity.
Yeah, and I got a shot
playing with some wire and boom! Suddenly we're all blind.
I didn't get rewarded for licking the light bulb socket. I didn't get rewarded like, oh, very good, you did a good thing. I got a shot in the head from my mother or something, man.
Oh, my dad would laugh when we did that. I would laugh at my kids, and as a matter of fact, we have Christmas lights on our Christmas tree. You know, we have light all the candles, and then the lametta, it from the heat of the candles, the lametta, the what do you call the lametta? The long lead silver stuff that
the tinsel,
tinsel, and the tinsel sways from the heat of the candles. It's beautiful, and so the Thorin in English, Thorin, he's going up and he's like looking at the candles. I said, "Here, put your hand over the candle." And I'm trying to put his hand over so he learns that candles are hot. And one of the ladies goes, "Are you crazy? What are you doing?" I'm going, "I'm just trying to teach him that candles burn in a controlled manner, you know." I wasn't allowed to do it. So much for that, you know.
Oh man. But hey, going back to this thing that's happening in with Putin in the Ukraine, he pulled back, right?
As far as I know, he hasn't. But you know, in the talk that I gave and I'm giving also, is what is the probability of what he's doing for the outcome? You know, for our propaganda and everything, what he's trying to do, he's trying to put pressure on us with potential invasion of the Ukraine with military units. Now, what we have to look at, what is his real outcome?
What is it?
Well, we don't know. There's a lot of different probabilities, and he's negotiating with countries in the Middle East, with countries in the Asia, with China, with the Europeans, with Gazprom, with gas rights, which is a talk I gave 4 years ago, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So for him to be able to use these negotiation points in all these different node spheres in this big potential of what could really happen and he's a genius when it comes with that. The guy is really smart and adept at using social media and social pressures on Western governments. So that if he says, okay, gas, there was a gas shortage coming through again. We don't know why. Boom, we went through this 4 years ago, exactly why. And all of a sudden these shortages are coming. He's putting pressure on people with not only an invasion and green men popping up in all these countries, you know, his nondescript, well, they call them the green men, you know, as soldiers being sent into countries without designations and all that. And they're doing good stuff. They're keeping control, bringing down pressure, bringing down chaos that he himself has sown. So the man, you have to look at, if he's putting pressure on like this, what are his outcome probabilities of gaining from invading Ukraine versus being able to use that as a negotiation tool to get pipelines going through or treaties. We canceled our medium-range missile program that they want to get that treaty going again. There's so many different things that he can use this pressure for to get what he wants in other areas. So that's why I'm looking at what we're looking at for the program and all that, and what Gunther's doing with his predictive AI, the Athena now, even for our next board game coming out, and our solo that we are doing for Agents of Mayhem is phenomenal, because now the AI for our board games coming out here in this end of this year and next year, the AI does not look and say, what's the best thing I can do? It's looking at analyze what you as a player is doing, sees what your highest probability as a Western commander or Western trained person will do, and it will make its decision on your next move, highest probability, to put it into a position to take advantage of your move.
So what, does it take a PhD to play this game?
No. The PhD, what it takes is to create a system where it's so easy that a Muppet can play it and have fun but have the depth of that.
I take that personally for some reason.
No, by a Muppet. I'm reading the Jim Henson autobiography right now. Phenomenal book. Jim Henson is the founder of the Muppets and everything.
Of course.
He did. And you would be great for that.
You know, Uwe.
You just need some guy sticking his hand up your backside and making your mouth go, and you'd be great.
Hey, don't talk about my sexual orientation preferences.
Hey, what you do on your own time is your business, Dan.
For God's
I've always
sake,
been very
man.
firm
You know what I'm
about
saying,
that.
Uwe?
I wasn't even thinking of that. I was thinking of the Muppets, baby. The Muppets. Quit going in those directions.
Uwe, well, so okay, you're going back to school, okay? Do you feel like you're missing something?
Well, yeah, I've been reading books like crazy on different programming, and not, like Unity or C++. I mean, those things, I'm looking at these very specified out there programs that I need to learn the details, and then even with the people who are specialized in some of the professors we're working with, to work with the programmings of these software systems to be able to do what we want to do.
Oh my God, the involvement of all of this. I'm getting a headache. I swear to God, it's unbelievable.
You know what? I do games for fun, okay? And I love doing this. But to me also, if we can, and we're doing it because we have Stellaris coming out, Stellaris Infinite Legacy, our 4X space game, which has hundreds of storylines, and every major decision you make ripples forward and changes the universe. Either we can play test it 500 times, make sure we do everything correctly, or we use the system that we're developing, the software system, where we put it in and instantly we can see, okay, we're doing this storyline, we want to do this card, we put it in, and boom, instantly we can see the probability outcomes throughout the entire game and all expansions, what the outcomes highest probability are going to be. If the probability percentage is too high or it's broken anywhere, we find the exact nodal point where the biggest change influencing it happens. Boom, 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 make the change, done. So we don't have any breakdowns in the future. So we don't have to do all this crazy playtesting using by gut, oh, we hope we got it right. Or there's so much going on, who knows what can happen. No, we don't want that. We want to know it all. So if I have 10,000 data points coming in and I can put one new card in and I can exactly see the influences of this one card into the whole game system in seconds, that's what I'm going for. I mean, we want to get, we're getting contact by some major software companies to be able to take not only their software games and making their board games, but they're very interested in our AI systems. So it's not only for military and intelligence applications that this could work. And I'm telling you, the Chinese are working and everybody has systems like this. And for all I know, the American government has it already. The unfortunate thing is half the part of the American government, if we do have it, doesn't know that the other half has it. So maybe this gets that talk going and it gets behind the scenes. But what we know, we are the best literally country worldwide with what we have. We've got shit nobody knows about. And, they've got to keep stuff behind closed doors. We know that.
Uwe, now with all this, like I'm listening to you and me. I love you, man. Okay. So I don't know if you're bullshitting me or not, because whatever, but you with all this information and your son with all this information, all these brains, you do board games.
Gunta did a little over $3 million now in Stellaris. And we're going to come out with the second one next year and hopefully do more.
Still a board game.
It's still money coming in, having fun doing it.
You see, I guess I guess, yeah, you're right, Uwe, you're right. I mean, for God's sake, man.
As my grandfather always said, just keep your head on the level with everybody else and have a good life. That's what it's about.
Very good.
Because, I'm going to be in the ground just like my dad did, and he had a great life, and he raised kids like me and my brother, and now he's got my son and my daughter and all that. That's life, man. And we live in gosh darn North America. So I'm even including Canada on that, which is some of the freest countries in the world, and nobody's going to, hell, everybody's scared of us because we do more shit that is provoking people. We are afraid, oh, well, look what the Russians do. Shit, we do 10 times more. But to us, it looks good. To our opponents, it looks shitty. But hey, too bad. We're America. So these guys are just rattling their swords. We've got to make it sound real bad so that we can get the funding and get the masses going in certain directions. It's good propaganda. And I know that sounds horrible, but it's history. It's been going on for thousands of years.
And with those last words, we're going to cut the show. So please, Uwe, stick around.
I hear someone knocking on my front door. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
We have an announcement.
Artie.
Are moving the show to Tuesday nights at 7:30. So we're going to be a day earlier and an hour later starting next week. So there will be a scheduled card up for this. It'll be at my place. So everybody bear that in mind, that we are, due to my gaming group's rescheduling stuff, we're moving the show. So thanks, Uwe, for coming on.
You know,
we had such a great ending. That was fantastic. You had to bring it down with reality, eh? Did you? Did you have to bring it down?
We played Star Trek Ascendancy last night and playing Descent tomorrow night. So gaming nights are important. So everything's got to go around that.
Yeah, exactly.
Uwe, don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Okay, people, hey. This was a show about box cover art.
A thoughtfully prepared and rigorously structured show, as usual.
And Uwe said I'm a musician and he likes my music. Well, this is my music.